All right. Well, I think it's about time that we bring our special guest on. We got Meditator Crypto, and I just want to say, as you introduce yourself, that the challenge that you did on X and showing the videos, you doing the push-ups every day, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, I think is what it was. S-
Hmm.
Super inspiring, man, and that's what really caused me to want to reach out. That's um, something that I think we all need to be focused on: our strength and our physical fitness. But yeah, tell us about yourself and what caused you to do a challenge like that.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me here. Hello, Dynamis and Easy Human. My name is Evangelos. I've been into crypto almost 4 years or so. I lately love memes. I like memes, meme tokens. They make you laugh, and if they're fair lunch, then it's even better. Compared to some real utility projects they claim to be, and eventually they're slow rugs, right?
Yeah.
So I love Cardano because of its community, because of the safety that it has. So lately, that it started having more movement, more volatility, more volume. I started investing into memes in Cardano as well, except from other chains and stuff. Of course, with real with utility cases in several blockchains as well. But when I saw the Chad, I saw it way too late. The Charles the Chad, the ticker. Actually, maybe I saw it in the beginning, but I wasn't. I didn't know what was, who made it. So I was like, okay, probably I lost the train there, right? So then Charles himself went into a space and started talking about the Chad mentality and what is a Chad mentality and how you have to earn the day, and doesn't matter even what you did yesterday, go on and continue, or doesn't matter what you did today, go on and continue. And because lately I was kinda in that mentality, but not so much. I think I became quite lazy last month, or maybe I could say last year. Just to give a bit of backup of myself, I used to live in the Netherlands, and I was working there as a cook for like 12 to 14 hours per day. And then I came back to Greece. I had some money to the side that I made in the Netherlands because there they pay triple times. And now I live with my parents, and everything is way easy. And I found myself being like really lazy. And I was doing some trading stuff, working part time. And then I saw this beautiful inspirational monologue that Charles did, talking about the chat mentality and what it is to wake up and seize the day. And I found in myself that I was waking up and not seizing the day by then. And then I liked that so much, so I started top blasting, as they say. I was just buying the top.
Yeah.
And
That's how we all start, though. That's how we start, right?
exactly, right? That's how you do the beginning, and then you start DCAing, buying every dip
Yeah.
until you don't have any more money.
Yeah.
And I'm quite,
That's
quite
that's by the way,
experienced.
that's the phase I'm in. I'm in the phase where you don't have any money. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Exactly. And and then I was like, okay, so this could be either a big financial mistake buying the top here, or I could turn it on my favor. And I was like, how will I calm myself not looking at the charts on a probable top and make something out of it? So then I was like, whoa, I can seize the day every day. I can do something, inspired by this, but as well inspiring for others also. And it was a couple of days ago, before I bought the Chad, that I saw there's some inspirational as well accounts in Twitter, Path of Man or something like that. And one was saying every man should be able to do every day 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. And I was like, whoa, that's a challenge. And then clicked into my mind, and I was like, okay, maybe I can make a chat mentality challenge, and if the community wants to follow, they can follow. And surprisingly, the first day got so many likes and retweets, was amazing. The chat, they supported immediately, even if they didn't know me. And that's the power of the community. You start something, and if the community loves it, then it can go good. And I'm really happy that some people starting recording themselves and doing it. Some other people started doing it only with their profile picture. That was amazing feeling, actually.
Yeah, I think that the community has a lot of power. I think what's really been inspiring is your personal initial action. That I think people see that, and men have been craving, I think, that sort of inspirational action to get behind and do something for themselves. And so, man, just kudos for doing something that is brave, that you don't know, people are going to laugh at you, or whatever, what sort of the situation may have been. But yeah, the Cardano community is a fantastic place, and I do think it's a very encouraging, safe place to be a bit experimental sometimes. So what else, what other things you have going on?
Yeah, thank you, mate. It was, it was, as you said, a little bit of risk, or how people would see it. But I believe, I'm 30, almost 34 years old, and I've been through things. I've been through meditation a lot. That's why my name as well. And I was like, I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for me, and I'm gonna record it for a video for me, because I knew that even if I didn't, I knew that if I didn't make it somewhere visible, I wouldn't have the discipline, maybe, to continue doing it, and maybe I would hold myself back. But now that I was accountable to the whole community, I was like, okay, I need to record that video again. So it was fun, and it was really challenging, especially the first week, first 7 to 10 days. Man, my triceps were in pain like 9 to 10. I had like knots on on my triceps, and I was continuing. I was going as well into the gym, and I had to do bench press that day. And I was like, how am I gonna do it? And then I was like, okay, end the day, start at zero. These words, start at zero, was like, okay, forget what you did. And that's something that you do in meditation, right? Maybe you're half hour there, and then you need to do one more half hour. So eventually you have 1 hour in total, right? And you're there, and you're just sitting into nothingness, and you say, okay, I'm just starting again. I'm assuming that I just started now. If you start thinking, oh, I did already all of this and I still didn't finish my meditation and blah blah blah, it's going to wreck you mentally. And the funny thing is that through this process, you start pushing your physical limits, but as well your mental limits, and you start understanding so much for yourself that you would never, I think, never did if you weren't in a situation that you have to keep on going, keep on pushing, keep on earning the day. Doesn't matter if you're tired or not, if you did it already yesterday, or if you went to the gym 2 hours ago already.
Absolutely. Yeah, that it's you're talking about like a mental fortitude that we all need to have. I think it's rare. I think it's what you're displaying is something that it's rare. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. And so yeah, it's something that we talk a lot about. I guess it's something that a lot of us fail to do. But I've been on the path myself here, just starting out. I'm probably up to about maybe 30 sit-ups a day. I'm not able to handle the 100 sit-ups a day yet. But do you have any thoughts on that, about how I might work my way up to that?
Yeah, you just start small, and keep on going. Like the body is really, our body is really wise. It knows what it can do. Sometimes it tried to protect you as well, so it might give you some signs of maybe more pain or stuff like that. I would say, if you're a beginner in fitness, don't push, especially in the beginning, way too much, but just being consistent, and eventually it will come. If you ask me now, oh, you did this for 5.5 months, I don't even remember it was 5.5 months. Just stay in the now, and that's the whole thing you need to do. Just go through the day, and numbers doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Now, you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're
All
coming
right.
in a little crackly.
Yeah, I was noticing that a little bit on my side here. I was hearing it, but I was still, hopefully it's not too bad on your guys' end. But I just wanted to jump in with all of the working out, man. I love it. It's become to the point where, it's a part of the routine. It's the regimen. And, Dunamis and I, we talk a lot. And, definitely just from supplements to, even, just the whole thought process of it. The biggest thing is just a strong mental, big, I feel like mental clarity is a definite big key to success with that. Um, but from the physical aspect of it, I'm really big into the calisthenics. So when you're talking to push-ups, that's I do 100 every time, and if not, I do about 120, and then crunches wise, I've been trying a lot of different exercises. But even, I was even watching a video last night about the core is the core fundamental of all of your exercises. So no matter
Hmm.
what it is you're doing, your core is always going to be always going to be incorporated. So and also just the thought of doing something fast. Even though it is important for the agility, also doing it slow, just to focus on the technique of that to really get the full range of motion that you need for your flexibility and to again increase that core activity, just to prevent a lot of those kind of like those silly like uh-oh moments where like, oh, I lost my footing because there was a weakness in your core, just in that brief moment. But just being grounded and all of that, and meditation too, that's a big thing for me also. I always want to meditate for at least 45 to an hour. That's been a part of my thing, just clearing your mind after all of that, being able to get that workout in, and then being able to like count your breaths and bring it back together and hit that reset button. Um, yeah, it's just it for me, like, and Dunamis will tell you, I'm very esoteric on our shows. It's very much it's a spiritual freedom for me to be able to be ready, for anything, just and having the mobility, the flexibility, and the mindset too. All of that comes together full circle, and I love it. I love it.
Whoa, congratulations, man. You sound really strong. If you do all of this, wow, it's really strong. Really busy guy being a strong man. Congratulations. Sounds great, man.
God is good, man. God is good. I'm into the
Exactly.
kettlebells. I'm into the kettlebells now. That's my next thing, and I'm doing a lot of gorilla movements, man. It's very nice. It's cool. It's different.
Nice. Functional, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Functional.
My biggest I think win with this challenge, except the mentality, was the mobility on my ankles and on my squats, right? I will post this on the next days. If you see my day one, I couldn't even go lower than 90 degrees squatting. I couldn't go lower. Like my muscles couldn't do it. And at the end of after 5.5 months, so even earlier, after 3 months or so, I managed to do a deep squat that I was never able to do it in my life, right? And that was amazing. Even people start
Very
noticing,
nice.
whoa, nice deep squat. And I was like, whoa, it's the first time in my life I'm getting a compliment for a deep squat, because most of the times I couldn't
Yeah.
even do more. I couldn't even go lower than 90 degrees, right? And something else that I remembered from what you were just saying was like, not all the days are the same, and maybe that's for you, Dynamis, as well. Um,
Yeah.
and some days, you would still need to do the 100 or the 30 or what you said, but then instead of doing it explosively, because the previous day you are on your primes, and you just want to boom 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 go there and just put these hundreds and finish, and then
Exactly.
go, yeah, go and eat or go out with your friends or whatever. it was some days that I needed to take more time for myself to do these hundreds, and maybe put some meditation music and make it like a meditation session, actually, with physical activity. And you just
Mhm.
had to find a way through yourself. How am I going to go through this challenge today that I'm totally exhausted, but I still need to do it? And you find this with a different way,
Right. Exactly that, dude. Yeah, you're right. And that every workout is different. Even if it's the same workout on a different
Hmm.
day, it's just about how you approach it. And I love that, setting up circuits. And I like to do a counterclockwise lap to keep the breathing at
Hmm.
steady. And that's a moment too where I'm in my head, and not in a negative way, but it's just in my head, and sorting it out, channeling it in, putting it all together. There's a mantra that I have when I step out onto the field, as I would say, is my mind is stronger than my body. So
What nice.
yeah, when I'm out there and it doesn't, and pain is one thing. You're doing, if you're doing something and you're actually straining yourself, you don't want to hurt yourself. But just the mentality of, man, like, I've done 3 sets, I've got another left. Nah, I can probably skip it. Like, nah, do the 4 sets. You already said you're gonna do it. It's already written on the
Yeah.
board. And then you've got the board too. I just told Dunamis I got a board. The board holds me accountable. All the tasks that I need to do, write the workout down. If it says four
Hmm.
sets, it's 4 sets, and or we go until fail. The only time that we're altering the workout is if we're going to fail, not lowering the count.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's when you win, right? Especially if you're an expert. If you're a beginner, okay, you need to find your way through there. But that last set, that failure, that's when you win. If you have 12 reps on your set, and you do 11, and you fail, and you cannot do the 12 at all, that's a win. That's
Exactly.
something that's something you did good. And as I was saying in the beginning, our body, it's really wise, but it's also really overprotective sometimes. Except if you're a
Right.
beginner, right? Of course, as a beginner, but in the beginning you have to watch it a little bit. But the more you go into the intermediate level, you can start understanding that now my mind and my body, they want to protect me with the pain, so they're giving me pain signals to not do this fourth set that you were saying. But there you need to find the mental strength, the physical strength, and say, okay, doesn't matter, I'm going to the fourth, and let's see what happens. Maybe I won't do 12, I'll do 11. But then you still went.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love too what you were saying earlier about the meditation combined with physical activity, and we've discussed a lot in our solitude episode in particular. We were talking about meditation and how it's different for every person, and personally with me, it's typically when I'm taking a walk outside in nature, and
Hmm.
so I I've found that after that meditative walk, it's easier
Hmm.
for me to get into exercise as well. So I think I'm starting to build a routine in that fashion where I'm gonna take my walk, meditate, and then sort of end it with the resistance exercise. But man, it's really interesting hearing some of these things, and I am definitely a beginner, when it comes to working out. I've tried to be more physically active in the past 4 years or so, but this is really like I feel like this summer is the summer where I'm turning it up and starting to really work out. And so this is a great thing to hear your thoughts on that. I wanna just change course a little bit while we have you here and ask about you'd mentioned, of course, Chad, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to mention a little bit about what you're doing with the project, the swap project that you have going on. If you could tell us about that.
Oh, the zero swap, the zero token, you mean?
Absolutely, yeah. Let us know about that.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this up, mate. Well, as I was saying a little bit, in the warm up that we're talking, I've been into trading and into crypto for 4 years. In the beginning, I didn't know anything, right? As everybody, I guess. You start at nothing, you start at zero every day.
Absolutely.
And then I started learning and learning. Honestly, I fell in love with crypto. I fell in love with the patterns, with the green and red candles. Why the green is green? Why the red is red? Why the triangle, the ascending triangle, has this breakout and everything? Is it just astrology, or is it proven, or whatever? And because I'm into psychology as well, I finished now my second degree. My first degree is in sports science, and my second degree now it is in psychology and counseling. I started finding these patterns of the candles that might be connected with the psychology of people, the psychology of the market, and the psychology of the market makers, of course. And I was in another blockchains, EVMs as well, and stuff. And I was making tutorial videos just for myself to put them out there, right? So some people approached me and they told me, look, we have these decks and we want you to do us some tutorial videos about staking, about liquidity providing, about price impacts, slippage, everything. I was like, yeah, but I don't know all of this stuff. They said, don't worry, just read it. Read this article, play on the test net and everything, So then I started playing with all of this, and I found out what is actually happening, especially in small caps, right? In tokens, like there's really few players there. It's a PvP thing. You buy a token early and then you start shilling it to the people, and if it has no utility, it's just, for me, it's like a dark energy, It's like you're trying to approach people just to sell it, dump it on their heads. And after finding this routine in the beginning, I started, of course, I started trading myself. I started um, to I was part of that, and I was like, what am I doing here? I'm just buying a token, and I'm saying, oh yeah, pump it, and then when it pumps, I'm selling it. Okay, in the big market caps, there are market makers, there are of the whole world, there are the whales that they might be pumping themselves. In the big picture, doesn't matter, it's a whole market. But if you're doing it PvP, I was like, what am I doing, and then I had this idea to make a good out of this volume. Because if you see, for example, in a new token, let's say for example, do you remember Waldo, when Charles posted a picture of him with yeah, with a colorful t-shirt or
The
whatever, and he
Where's
said,
Waldo thing for sure.
yeah, yeah, and he said nobody's asking what Waldo is doing, right? And then somebody just took that, and it made 1 million volume in 24 hours. ADA volume 1 million. That means that 500,000 ADA was bought and 500,000 ADA was sold, or maybe a variation of that. That means that the people that bought earlier, they just dumped it on the heads of the newbies that they don't know anything and just trying to chase green candles, right? For me, that's really, I don't know, I would say it like bad dark energy. So I was thinking, how could I make something fun, something that will include trading, to include all the people who want to trade, people that having this this hope of winning something, because that's a nice thing. I also do it for myself, right? I'm having this hope, I want to trade, I want to gamble a little bit and stuff. But will as well, eventually, even if you lose of your, or even if you win money, the whole project is going to give something white, something positive eventually. So my first original thought, a year ago, that I was building this in my head for a year, was an economic design that where the project will be able to accumulating funds through an arbitrage situation, accumulating funds for free mental health therapies. So
Wow.
yeah, I was thinking of an NFT swap that will make the NFTs liquid, that you will be able to swap them for your fungible token. That was the Coffee Monk's idea. And I was asking for Catalyst two times for 100 to 150,000 ADA to run it, because then it would need to be a legal company with at least 5 psychologists, and a real big thing, right? With you need to start with
Mhm.
lawyers and everything. You needed money for that. But eventually, I never managed to take this. The community voted for 20 millions last time, but I needed more than 49 millions in votes. Then I would have taken it. but I didn't manage it. So we had this token that called Zeros, that we 100% fairly launched it. The funny thing is that we fairly launched it 100% as a Nike killer. At the
Oh
past,
yeah,
yeah,
the pig.
yeah, the pig, right? So Nike is the pig, and in Greece we kill the pigs, the pork, to make it gyros, right? We wrap it into a pita.
Of course.
Yeah.
Love
We
euros.
wrap it into yeah, gyros tasty, yeah.
Mhm.
Very good.
Oh
we
yeah.
wrap it we wrap it into a pita, and we put some fries, tzatziki, and everything, and we make it a nice toast. So I found this hilarious, and I was actually going to eat some gyros after the beach. We have really nice beaches here in Greece, and I was like, okay, we're gonna make this meme token. And after a little bit of the narrative, it went like, how difficult actually it's a really full-time
Yeah.
job to make
Yeah.
a token, to be there, to have volume, to have utility. After, that was almost a year. In a few days we have a year. After a bit it kind of died, and then we said we need to give another narrative to this project. And meanwhile we're working with the coffee monks and the catalyst funds. We were building from behind the scenes this Euros token, but with a more positive way, inspired of these coffee monks, the same thing, with NFT swap. And eventually, when we didn't take um, the funding for the coffee monks, we took all of this economic design that we built for coffee monks, and we just made the simpler concept. And now we have built our own dApps from scratch, with our own money and own time. Nobody paid us. We didn't take any funding, and we made an NFT FT swap. And the 50% of the income from these dApps, we're giving it away to kids in Africa to have food in Sierra Leone and to rebuild a school in Kenya. And it's,
That's
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, man, this amazing, amazing the stuff that you've done and you're doing. It's so inspiring.
Thank you,
Um,
mate. Thank you.
it's that's major Chad mentality right there. That's
Thank you, man. The sometimes I was thinking, I wish I never started Zeros, this token. I wish I never started. I spent so much time, money. I've put quite a lot of ADA in there. But then when I see it coming reality, or when I see, the pictures of the school, how was it before, with holes, literally holes on the wall, you can see the sun going through, and then you can see it next day that is built, it's white, fresh, painted and stuff. And when I saw the other day, man, one guy minted one NFT. We took the 50% of the funds of the NFT, and we gave away the donation, and the other we supported our token. So this design, it supports both NFT and the token. They both have, let's say, support from the mint. And then this guy was able to go to use our zero swap. He minted for 40 ADA, and he swapped his NFT for 20 million zeros, and immediately sold it on the market for 160 ADA. So he made 4 times his money from donating. He donated, he quadrupled his money with triple time profit. And
wow.
our chart has a little bit of a red candle, and now it's already 20-30% higher than that. It's
That's
crazy.
awesome. Well, we'll say, of course, that outcomes are going to be different for everybody in memes, and so what everything we say is, of course, never financial advice. But man, that's killer. That's an incredible model, and I'm really excited now just to go and check out and see what it is that you guys have going on. So
Yeah, if you could mint one and swap it, I mean, it's just only for the ADA, and you can see, you can see how it's going. But as you said, you're really right. Doesn't matter how good the protocol is on a token and on an open market, nothing goes up straight or down straight. Down straight might go, but nothing goes up straight and forever, right? It's
correct.
like in nature, you can see it everywhere. Everything moves in cycles. Everything moves in waves. even if with this economic design that supports everything, and to have bigger liquidity and buybacks and donations and everything, one time there will be the top or the local top. You never know when this time will be. So yeah, you cannot say, okay, this is a best project with best intentions and stuff. Always invest or play with that amount that you're easy to lose, that you can afford to lose it, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. And there's definitely a such thing as overinvesting. I did that a lot in the end of the last bull run there in
Mhm.
2020, 2021, 2022. Bought the top, just like you're saying, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it hurts when that happens, but it's good to know that you can always start the next day from zero. You can always come back, and your story is so inspirational. I just want to again thank you for taking the time today to talk to us and be a part of sharing your story with the audience. It's very, very inspirational.
Of course, and thank you so much for the invitation, mate. I mean, I really appreciate it. I don't speak every time, and so often, you know. Funny thing is, lately with this challenge, more people are starting inviting me. But thank you so much for being one of these persons inviting me here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice night.
Okay. And I am